Hoping for a fresh start, Millie arrives at the Winchester residence in New York to interview for a live-in housemaid position. She is greeted by Nina Winchester, who looks over Millie's resume and remarks that she is overqualified given her college degree. Millie calmly responds that she enjoys working as a maid for the right families. Then, Nina quickly gets down to business, telling Millie that her duties will include cleaning the house and helping take care of her 7-year-old daughter, Cease. Na then gives Millie a tour of the house, mentioning that the interior design was done by her husband, Andrew, who works in the tech industry. Na shows Millie a room with a large television and a shelf stocked with drinks. Na adds that Andrew loves to spend his time here. She tells Millie that she is welcome to use the room anytime. Next, Na shows her the second living room, explaining that they barely use it. Millie awkwardly asks whether Nena really needs a nanny since everything looks neat and well-maintained. Na then admits that she is pregnant and will need all the help she can get. She asks Millie not to tell Andrew, explaining that it is still early and she wants to be sure. Millie nods and congratulates her. Na shows Millie Cease's bedroom. Then she points out a miniature version of the house, saying, "Andrew made it." After that, she takes Millie to her bedroom, which is secluded from the main part of the house. Na tells her she can decorate the room with plants or blast music, saying the room is soundproof. At the end of the tour, Na hands Millie a $20 bill for gas and tells her she will call once she has made her decision. Deep down, Millie knows Na probably won't call her back once she finishes the background check on her since everything on her resume is a lie. After freshening up in a public bathroom, Millie returns to her car and sleeps there. The following day, Millie receives a call from Na telling her that she got the job, and Millie expresses her gratitude. That afternoon, Millie arrives at the house, but no one opens the gate. She asks the man nearby if he knows the access code, and just then, the gate opens. Millie steps inside and finds the house in complete disarray. Na greets her and tells her she needs to clean up because she has to work on her PTA speech. Na takes Millie's bags and offers to put them in her room. Millie cleans the house until it is spotless. Shortly afterward, Andrew arrives home with Cease. Na introduces Millie to them, explaining that she will be living with them. Andrew is hesitant at first, but Nena assures him that Millie will be a great help. Andrew then welcomes her. Millie then goes to her room and notices a small refrigerator stocked with bottled water. She also realizes that the door cannot be locked from the inside, only from the outside. When she tries to open the window, she finds that it doesn't budge. At that moment, Nena enters the room with dinner and explains that the window does not really open, but promises to ask the handyman to fix it. Curious, Millie asks if the handyman is the man working in the yard. Na shakes her head and explains that Enzo is a groundskeeper. Then Millie asks Nena for a key to her room. Na laughs and says she will bring one later, adding that the room used to be Andrew's storage closet for files. Na then gives Millie a brand new phone. She explains that the household credit card is linked to the phone, so Millie can use it to buy groceries and other necessities for the house. The next morning, Millie wakes up late and rushes downstairs where she sees Nena angrily throwing items around the living room. Millie asks what is wrong. Na explains that she left her PTA speech on the counter, and now it is missing, and she accuses Millie of throwing it away. Andrew steps in and calms his frantic wife. He tells Na that he will take Cease to school while she starts rewriting the speech, reminding her that she has until this evening to finish it. Millie begins cleaning up the mess. Andrew, concerned, comments that he does not understand why Nena has been so emotional lately. He offers to help Millie, but she politely tells him that she can handle everything herself. As Millie takes out the trash, she notices Enzo outside. He asks her what she's doing here. Before he can say anything else, he spots Na, mutters something under his breath, and quickly walks away. Later, while cleaning the master bedroom's toilet, Millie discovers a tablet. Moments after, Na appears behind her and begins talking about how she never quite fits in with the other PTA moms. Then she tells Millie to start preparing dinner. That night, while Nena is at a meeting, Millie prepares dinner. As she serves the meal, she asks Cease if she wants some juice. Cease agrees, but tells Millie to use a different glass, saying this one is dirty. Millie explains it just came out of the dishwasher, but Cease still refuses to drink from it. Andrew asks Millie to stay and join them, but she politely declines. Back in her room, Millie scrolls through Andrew's Instagram profile. Suddenly, there is a knock at the door. Andrew appears, bringing her a cupcake. Just as he leans in to kiss her, Millie wakes up, realizing it was only a dream. As Millie sets the breakfast on the table, Nena hands her the key to her room and asks how things went last night with Andrew and Cease. Millie says it went fine. Sion admits Andrew isn't the biggest fan of her cooking, but he always eats it without complaint. A few days later on Saturday, Nena asks Millie to drop Cease off at ballet class. Millie points out that it's her day off, but Nena complains that she missed her hair salon appointment earlier because of Millie throwing away her PTA speech. Millie insists she needs to attend an important meeting. Overhearing their argument, Andrew offers to take Cease to ballet class himself. Millie then meets with her parole officer, who asks about her current living situation and job. Millie explains where she lives and what she does for work. The officer warns her to hold on to this job, reminding her that if she slips up, she could end up back in jail to serve the remaining 5 years. After the meeting, Millie receives a call from Nena, who clears throat, simply asks her to pick Cease up from ballet class. Millie arrives at the dance studio and runs into one of the PTA moms named Patris. Millie introduces herself, explaining that she works for Nina Winchester and is here to pick up Cease. However, Patris tells her that Cease already has a play date arranged with Emma weeks ago. Millie insists that Nena specifically asked her to pick Cease up. Annoyed, Patris calls Na, who denies ever asking Millie to pick Cease up. When Millie returns to the house, Na immediately scolds her for causing a scene in front of Patris, claiming that she already told Millie that Cease was having a sleepover. She then introduces Millie to Evelyn, Andrew's mother, pointing out that she brought some lovely china sets with her. At that moment, Andrew arrives home and greets his mother. That night, Millie can't sleep, so she goes downstairs to watch TV. Moments later, Andrew joins her. Millie apologizes and starts to leave, but he asks her to stay. They end up watching Family Feud together. Millie comments that she likes the show. Andrew jokes that he and his family would have crushed the show, calling them absolute vultures. Andrew then asks about Millie's family. She admits that she does not really keep in touch with them. Trying to lighten the mood, Andrew jokes that he, Millie, his parents, and Nena would make a better team on Family Feud. Picking up on who's being left out, Millie asks about Nena's parents. Andrew explains that Nena's parents died when she was young and that the police were never able to determine who was responsible, though rumors claim Nena started the fire herself. At that moment, Nena walks in and finds them together. Andrew quickly says they were just watching a game show before excusing himself and leaving. Then Na fires Millie. Millie desperately begs for another chance, and after a moment, Na agrees but warns her to stay the hell away from her husband. The next day, Millie prepares food for a PTA gathering. While serving them, she overhears them trash-talking their nannies. Na then announces that she is looking for a nanny herself. The moms immediately fawn over her and ask how far along she is. Na corrects them, saying that she and Andrew are trying to conceive and are planning to visit a fertility clinic. She then receives a phone call and excuses herself. Once Na leaves, the moms begin gossiping about her. Patris comments on how saintly Andrew must be to put up with Na's behavior and mentions that Nena had nothing when she married him. They also reveal that Nena once spent 9 months in a psychiatric ward. That night, Millie writes in her journal, expressing how she believes Na is crazy for lying about being pregnant. Suddenly, Nena bursts into her room and asks her to watch Cease this Saturday. While she and Andrew go to a doctor's appointment in the city, Millie agrees. Saturday arrives, and once Nena and Andrew leave, Millie checks the medicine cabinet and realizes that Na's medication is for psychosis. Millie later leaves a voicemail for her friend Lexi asking if she knows of any job openings and admitting that she needs to get out of this house. CC overhears the conversation and asks if Millie is leaving. Millie reassures her that she is not and begins making her a sandwich. To break the silence, Millie asks if Cease has any crushes at school. The question immediately puts Cease in a bad mood. She then tells Millie that she does not have to be her friend. Millie gently replies that she does because she likes her. Cease softens and begins playing with her dollhouse. Do you want juice or water? Juice, please, don't spill. Juice is a privilege. I won't. Did you go to the salon today? Yes. Millie notices her troll doll and scolds Cease, telling her not to go into her room again. Suddenly, they hear Nena screaming. Millie later learns that Na has premature ovarian insufficiency, meaning she cannot have children. Andrew adds that they have been trying for years. He admits that he always wanted children and reveals that Cease is not his biological daughter. That night, Millie hears loud yelling and screaming. She goes to check on them and sees Na holding a bloodied glass shard. Smiling creepily, Andrew eventually manages to take the shard from her and shuts the door. The next morning, Na apologizes to Millie for lying about the pregnancy. Millie smiles politely, attempting to make peace. Na offers Millie some of her clothes. Millie hesitates, but when Nena insists, she accepts. Then Na asks Millie to do her a favor and book 2 Broadway tickets and a hotel this Saturday so she can make it up to Andrew, adding that Cease will stay with a friend and Millie will have the day off. Great. Later, Millie goes to pick up Cease from ballet class when one of the moms asks Millie if she is the new maid working for the Winchester family. When Millie confirms it, the woman tells her that Cease has been through a lot, revealing that Nina once tried to drown her and later attempted suicide by overdosing on pills. She adds that Andrew saved them both. Later, Millie confronts Enzo, asking what he knows about the family, but Nena angrily interrupts and demands to know why Millie bought the Broadway tickets. Millie reminds her that she asked her to book them, but now accuses her of lying, saying she and Cease are supposed to go to art camp this Saturday. She also points out that the tickets are non-refundable, so the cost will be deducted from Millie's paycheck. Just then, Andrew arrives home and Na tells him what Millie did. Andrew reassures Millie, saying she doesn't have to pay. Days later, Nena and Cease leave for art camp. Millie takes a shower, and when she comes out, she runs into Andrew. He apologizes, awkwardly, and leaves. Later, Andrew tells Millie that he was unable to get the tickets refunded and asks if she would like to go with him to see the show instead. Millie hesitates at first, but eventually agrees. She wears one of Na's dresses. They attend the show and have a good time. At the hotel, Andrew opens up about running a data processing company that his father left him, and shares how he always wanted to be a good husband and have children. He asks Millie if she wants kids, and she replies that she does someday. While Andrew checks in, Millie asks the front desk attendant for a phone charger, which she promptly provides. They then go to their separate hotel rooms. As Millie charges her phone, she notices a flood of angry messages from Nena. She immediately shows them to Andrew. Overwhelmed, Millie begins to cry and Andrew comforts her. One thing leads to another and they end up sleeping together. The next morning, Andrew compliments Millie's beauty. An hour later, they return to the house and breathe a sigh of relief when they realize Nena has not arrived home yet. They begin kissing. Sometime later, Nena walks in. She quickly apologizes to Millie for the messages she sent the night before. Curious, Nena asks Millie how she spent her day off. Millie lies and says she went to a bar with her friend Lexi. Na smiles and compliments Millie's cooking. "I've been meaning to ask you, did you learn how to cook while you were in prison?" Na then casually mentions to Andrew that Millie spent 10 years in prison, but believes it's good that Millie is trying to start fresh. She gives Millie a grocery list. "Did you use my car for running errands from now on? I'm afraid yours is becoming music, an unwelcome topic of conversation." While shopping, Millie runs into one of the PTA moms who notices her new phone. The woman remarks that most nannies would refuse a phone from their employer since they are often used as tracking devices. Millie suddenly realizes that Nena knows about the affair. Moments later, the police arrive and handcuff her since Nena has reported her car stolen. Andrew eventually arrives and picks Millie up. Then Millie admits that she went to prison while she was still in high school, but Andrew tells her she does not need to explain her past, assuring her that he knows she is a good person. When Millie and Andrew return home, Nena confronts them after finding the Broadway playbill. She accuses them of having an affair. Both Millie and Andrew deny it, and Andrew tells Nena that she is imagining things again. Nena, however, fires Millie on the spot and also demands money from her, accusing her of stealing her clothes. Millie is stunned. Andrew suddenly snaps and kicks Nena out of the house. Furious, Nena slaps Millie before storming out. After Nena leaves, Millie offers to go as well, explaining that she needs a job and stable housing to comply with her parole conditions. Andrew insists that she stay with him, and Millie agrees. Over the next few weeks, life feels blissful for Millie. One day, Andrew casually tells Millie that his mother loves his smile and that other women do, too. One morning, as Millie plates breakfast for Andrew, she is startled to see Enzo watching her from outside. She tells Andrew about it, and he immediately fires Enzo. Millie apologizes to Andrew for accidentally breaking the china plate his mother brought. Andrew tells her not to worry, but asks her to collect the broken pieces so he can have someone glue them back together. That evening, Millie greets Andrew as he carefully examines the broken china. He asks why she didn't clean up the pieces, and Millie explains she was afraid of cutting herself. Andrew simply nods in response. He then leads Millie to her bedroom and offers her champagne. They drink, and soon after they begin making out. Sometime later, Millie wakes up alone. She tries to open the door but realizes it is locked from the outside. Panicked, she yells for Andrew to open it. The story then shifts back to a few weeks earlier after Na left the house. Instead of being devastated, Nena feels a sense of relief for finally escaping Andrew's control. It is revealed that Andrew is abusive and had been manipulating and exploiting Nena for years. Na's trauma began when she was 8 years old. Contrary to what Andrew tells people, she did not start the fire at her house. Nena once dreamed of becoming a lawyer, but her life took a different turn when she fell in love with her professor and became pregnant with Cease, and he rejected them both. She gave up her ambitions and began working as a secretary at a law office. One day, her boss noticed stains on her blouse and told her to clean herself up. That was when Andrew first noticed her. Later, Andrew apologized on behalf of his lawyer and asked Na out. After only 6 weeks of dating, he proposed and Nena accepted. She believed she was getting a fairy tale ending, though deep down she sensed something was wrong, especially after learning that Andrew's previous fiancée, Kathy, had cold feet and called off the wedding. One day, Andrew noticed Na's roots showing and reminded her to get them done. The next day, Andrew noticed that Na still hadn't done her roots. She told him she forgot while dropping Cease off at her friend's house. Then, he sent her to the attic to get his file. Once she was inside, he locked her in and ordered her to pluck 100 hairs from her scalp, roots intact. He told her that hair was a privilege and had to be maintained. Na cried, but obeyed. The next day, Andrew told her to start over, claiming she had missed one hair. One of the strands didn't have a father. After completing the task again, she rushed downstairs to Cease, only to realize that the water she drank had been drugged. Then, Andrew staged the scene to make it appear as though Nena had tried to drown Cease. The police arrived, and Nena was institutionalized. Na eventually accepted antidepressants, even though she felt emotionally numb, just so she could be released and returned to Cease. However, she soon realized that Andrew had already won Cease's affection, leaving Na trapped with him. Andrew presented himself to the world as the perfect husband while portraying Nena as unstable. Eventually, Andrew wanted children of his own. But Nena had an IUD inserted and secretly paid the doctor to tell Andrew she was infertile. So Andrew's abuse continued even more. Enzo tried to help Na and Cease escape by arranging fake passports, but Andrew discovered the plan. Eventually, Nena realized Andrew's greatest weakness, his need to be admired. She began plotting her escape and replacement. Millie fit the profile perfectly. Alone, vulnerable, and in need of saving, exactly the type Andrew was drawn to. However, when Na discovered that Millie had gone to prison for murder, her plan changed. Enzo agreed to keep watch over Millie, and Na prepared to leave for California with Cease. Back in the present, Andrew tells Millie that the china plate she broke is irreplaceable because he grew up eating from it. Millie insists it was an accident, but Andrew coldly explains that family heirlooms are a privilege. He slips one of the pieces under the door and orders her to carve a line into her stomach 21 times, once for each broken piece. He warns her that if she does it incorrectly, she will have to start over. As Millie prepares to cut herself, she recalls the man she killed, the reason she went to prison. He had been rich, admired, and seen as a saint by others, much like Andrew. Millie killed him because he was taking advantage of her roommate. Her roommate refused to testify, and even Millie's parents disowned her. She took a plea deal for 15 years and was released on parole after 10. Millie realizes that Nena deliberately chose her as a scapegoat. Millie completes the 21 cuts and passes out. Meanwhile, Na tells Cease that they are moving to California. Cease suggests they take Millie with them, but Na tells her that Millie is with Andrew now. The next day, Andrew tells Millie that he is proud of her and promises she can have anything she wants as long as she learns that actions have consequences. At that moment, Millie stabs him with a knife hidden in the mini fridge placed there earlier by Na. Millie locks Andrew inside the room and takes his phone. She discovers that there are hidden cameras in the room. While calmly eating a sandwich, she sees a message from Evelyn pop up on Andrew's phone. This gives Millie an idea. She gathers all the china sets and grabs a pair of pliers. She tells Andrew that he must pull out his front tooth or she will destroy every piece of china his mother ever gave him. Eventually, Andrew pulls his tooth out. Millie leaves him behind, telling him she will be back. That night, Nena returns to the house to save Millie. Millie hears a noise coming from the attic and looks up to see Na opening the door. Before Millie can warn her, Andrew appears behind Nena and pushes her down. He then chases after Millie. After a brief struggle, Millie manages to break free and hide. Andrew then encounters Nena. He tells her that they can go back to how things were before. At that moment, Millie emerges and pushes Andrew down the staircase. Na quickly unscrews the light bulb and drops it. She tells Millie she'll explain to the police that Andrew slipped and fell while changing the bulb. Millie argues that the police will not believe that story, but Nena urges her to run anyway. Before leaving, Millie places Andrew's tooth beside his body. Na later tells the officer a cover story, saying she returned home that evening after dropping her daughter off at art camp and that her maid was on a 1-week break. The officer points out that Andrew's injuries were too severe to have been caused by a simple fall. She then reveals she knew Andrew personally. He once dated her sister Kathy, who became deeply disturbed after their relationship and never fully recovered. The officer ultimately dismisses the case as a freak accident. Days later, after Andrew's funeral, the PTA moms express their sympathy. Evelyn responds by saying that Andrew had a beautiful smile and mentions that the police found a missing tooth beside him. She adds that if you do not take care of your teeth, you lose the privilege of having them. She then criticizes Nena, questioning whether this is how she allows her daughter to dress for her father's funeral. Later, Na spots Millie. She thanks her and hands her some money so she can start over. Millie later attends an interview for a housemaid position at a luxurious mansion. The woman interviewing her tells Millie that Na recommended her, but warns her that her husband is a difficult man to please. Millie smiles calmly and asks, "When can I?"